Welcome to our app, Taste Test. When users first launch the app, they will see this loading screen that features our logo. From there, they will be brought to this screen, where they can log in if they have an account or sign up if they're a first-time user. This user is Cameron, a travel blogger. He doesn't have an account, so he chooses to sign up. Cameron enters his email and phone number and then creates a username and password. From there, he goes to profile setup, where he can add a photo as well as information such as his name and birthday. Next, he selects a plan, and we can see that he's chosen the standard plan. Then he clicks continue to get started. He is immediately brought to his profile page, where he can review and change his information or share his profile. Everything looks good, so he decides to move right into swiping. Cameron is traveling alone and will be making his decision solo, so he just decides to start swiping. He sees this graphic showing him how to swipe and then is brought to his first dish option. From here, he can choose to search for a specific dish or restaurant, which is sometimes useful if he has a more specific idea in mind of what he wants to show his followers. Today, he just wants to start swiping. For each option Taste Test presents, users can click here to learn more information about the dish and restaurant. As you can see, there is tons of information provided, including a detailed description of the dish, hours and accommodations for the restaurant, and more. As a food blogger, Cameron might want to check out the restaurant's social media page or website. He can also read reviews from other customers or view the restaurant's full menu. He swipes through some options and can see information such as the name of the dish, the rating, price ranking, and how far it is from him. After swiping, he is brought to a results page that lists options in order based on how closely they matched his preferences. He can click the help button if he has any questions. Cameron really likes a lot of these options and decides to save some for later since he can't eat all of them today. He favorites a few that seem good to him, skipping the ones with lower ratings. Since he is struggling to make a decision, he scrolls down and clicks this button to get some help from the app. The app is now going to walk Cameron through a process called the 5-2-1 method. He will start by selecting 5 out of the 10 options that seem good to him. Since he has already favorited 5 options, it is an easy decision, and he selects those 5 choices again. From here, the app will randomly narrow it down to 2 out of his 5 selections, and he will make his final choice between those 2. He decides to go for the first option as he thinks his followers will like it. He lets the app know he's done and then is brought to this results page where he can see more information about the restaurant. From there, Cameron decides to go to his favorites page. After more swiping, he will have a long list and he can go in there to write reviews of each place that he tries. The review includes a star rating and a short description of your experience. Plus, you can add a photo if you'd like to. Cameron writes his review and clicks submit. After that, he is done for the day. He returns to his profile page and signs out of the app. Next, we will walk through the app with Samantha, a stay-at-home mom of 2. She already has an account, so she signs in with her username and password. This brings her right to her profile. Samantha decides to go to her settings to check her account information. From here, she sees that everything looks right, so she decides to return to her profile. We can see she is a premium user, and then she decides to toggle with some of her privacy and notification settings. Samantha often decides where to eat with friends or her husband, and today she decides to create a group. She adds a name, selects contacts to join the group, and then sets her location. She's now ready to get started. Before beginning to swipe, she decides to set some filters to accommodate her family's needs. They generally like pizza, pasta dishes, Chinese food, and today she wants to look at dessert options as a possible treat for after dinner. The price setting looks good, and she confirms her location. Then she moves down to dietary restrictions. Her husband is gluten-free, and her son has a severe peanut allergy, so she selects these filters. Then she scrolls down to accommodations. She wants to ensure that restaurants will be kid-friendly and have parking for the family minivan. After applying the filters, she swipes through some dishes and looks at the options. After she finishes, she must now wait for the rest of her group members to finish as well. She can see who has already completed the process and who the group is still waiting on. Once everyone is done and results have been compiled, the app walks each group member through the process of selecting 2 restaurants that they like and 2 that they don't. This allows all participants to get a say in the outcome without any one person having to make the final decision. Samantha drags the thumbs up and thumbs down icons to the restaurant as she sees fit, and once everyone has done so, they are presented with group results. That completes our walkthrough of Taste Test, the app that removes the question of where users should eat. Thank you for following along.